What's up, everyone? Frank here with Little Al, and today is going to be a Q&A. Let me just there we go. So today's going to be a Q&A video. I asked people to submit questions they had via our Facebook group and via email. So this is going to be a combination of just different questions that people have to ask, and I'm going to answer them. Good news. We're almost to 100 likes on Facebook, on our Facebook page, and it looks like we have 53, 52 or 53, what's it called? Subscribers on YouTube. Honestly, 50 for a prep center, that's a bit weird. I didn't realize 50 people would even be interested in this kind of crap, but here we are. Here we are. So anyway, I'm going to answer a lot of you guys' questions. This might be a long video, so if you have to stop watching, go ahead. Do it. Preferably now, though. Preferably now. Anyway, let's digress. Let's see. What would be a good number of books for sending to Amazon? I know you covered this on your website. All right, cool. So the first question is, what would be a good number of books for sending to Amazon? So usually we recommend 40 to 50 pounds per box. And let's see, hold on, I don't have a box with me. It's somewhere else. The boxes are somewhere else, guys. But we have a 12 by 16 by 12 box that's really good for shipping FBA. They're those Home Depot 88 cents boxes, just in case you guys want to do this at home. I don't get them anywhere else, but Home Depot has a really good deal on them, and I buy in the pallets. So that's good. So the 40 and 50 pound range, that's about 15 to 20 books, depending on the weight of those books. Like some of you know, it could be a weight heavier book, like what was it? Cover this. Elements of Literature book, or it could be some writer's handbook or a very thin one. So I would recommend 15 to 20 bucks. Reason I would do that is because of shipping cost. We do not. Little Al doesn't cover shipping costs. We cover shipping materials to FBA, which means that our base price pays for the box, pays for the tape, pays for the stickers for the FNS SKUs, and all that good stuff. So the shipping cost is on the clients and on you watching this. So the reason for that, to get the shipping cost lower, is if you can do if you can get a lower per item shipping cost, then obviously you'll get a higher profit. So here's an example. Actually, another email I just had is, why do you not ship my items out as they come in on an individual book level? So let's say you got 10 books on your spreadsheet, and you send them in, and of course they're from multiple sellers because you're searching for those deals, doing that online arbitrage. I get an accounting book coming in, and I ship it out. Well, if I ship it out, sure, I'll use a spare box that I have that we use for returns, so obviously it'll be less on us. I don't mind doing that, but the real kicker is the shipping cost. If it's close by, we could probably get that shipping cost to about $3 to $4 on that book. Now, like I said before, you pay the shipping cost. So let's say you bought it for $15. You bought that accounting book for $15, and now you're adding an extra $4 onto it. So your cost basis on that book is $19. And if you can only sell it for $29, that's only a $10 profit, which isn't bad. In my opinion, that's not bad. But if you were to bundle that with other books, say that 15 to 20 books, it would be $1 less, or around $1, maybe 50 cents, 40 cents. 40 or 50 is what we'd like to go for. Anything lower than that is super. But you normally don't get that unless you're doing 80 to 100 books. But this is more of a smaller, newer seller question. So on that box, you could probably see $1 or lower, maybe 80 cents 80 cents shipping cost just added onto the books. And if you only paid, what did I say? If you only paid, what's it, 1870, 16, if you only paid $15 for it and you add 80 cents on, that's only 15.80. That's pretty good, and you're going to get that a couple extra bucks. Of course, this is including Amazon fees and all that. It's a pretty simple thing. But that is why we do FBA in bulk, and we like to do it in bulk because it's going to save the client more money. Personally, if someone wanted to do it individually, we would do it, but I would give them this and say, hey, there's a cheaper way of doing this, and if you do want to scale, you're gonna need to save money each step of the way. And shipping cost, if we can lower that for you, then we've done our job. So that's the shipping thing. One guy, let's see, how can we tell when a book has sold? If I was a seller, I would know this question, but I'm not a seller. I assume that in your Seller Central, you would have a book sold, or you may see an active item become inactive when it's sold. Normally, Amazon does hold the money for those, so of course you won't see the money right away, but you would definitely have to look in your Seller Central. We personally cannot tell that information. Little Al really isn't interested in that kind of information or information tracking. We're more in the operations and shipping and logistics process. Let's see. Tips and ways to use your Excel sheet you provide. Do we clean it up and remove books that have shipped out / sold, or leave all the books on there? For non-listing customers, is there a way to mark that things have been listed that doesn't get listed twice? All right. So this question is geared towards non-listing customers with us and our spreadsheet. So let me unpack that real quick. For those of you who are not aware or not Little Out clients, on our onboarding, we do provide a Google Sheet, which is a pretty standard thing when it comes to prep centers. Honestly, most prep centers have that, unless you're, who is it? Unless you're Mackenzie River, a big guy. Awesome people, though. But most people are going to have Google Sheets. Most prep centers are going to have Google Sheets unless they have some proprietary software, which we currently do not have just yet. So, non-listers. So, a non-lister is we, as Little Al, do not list for you. You list for yourself. Personally, it doesn't matter. You can delete. If you're a non-lister, you can delete stuff since we're not really keeping track of listing for you. The only thing I would hesitate on is maybe we do another tab to where everything deleted goes there. That way we still have a historical spreadsheet to look back on. In our experience, historical data is very important. So anything could pretty much happen between now and December. And if you were a new client starting now and you're buying, in December, what if a book or something weird happens to a book that was purchased in October or November? And then we can look back and say, hey, this is that or this is that. Also, deleting stuff from the spreadsheet, we particularly do not like because if we do, if there is something coming up missing, we do need to investigate that. So those are the only two things we don't like about deleting stuff. However, in a non-listing customer spreadsheet, as long as they keep us in a loop and saying, hey, can we open another tab and put all that other stuff on there? That way everybody still has the data, but you're more streamlined in your spreadsheet. I would definitely be open to that. So for the person who asked that question, I think you know who you are if you are listening to this. Definitely send me an email or a message saying you want to do it or something like that. Or if you have ideas, let me know. I don't mind stealing good ideas. 100% don't mind at all. No, not at all. Let's see. Let me get to another one. Do you have training on how to use the spreadsheet? Um, all right. So do we have training to use the spreadsheet? Currently, we do not. I am working on that. Um, it's just an overview of what a spreadsheet would look like and how it is used. I am still working on that kind of video. Currently, I only do videos part-time. Most of my efforts are either in emails, operations, returns, basically wherever the company needs me, I'm there. These kind of videos I try to get to every once in a while, mainly for branding and mainly to help other people out. So currently I am working on how to use the spreadsheets, and I will definitely be posting that to our YouTube channel. I'm not sure. I do have it written out though, so usually when I have something written out, I will do a take of the video, and if I like it, I'll upload it to YouTube, if it makes sense. Sometimes I have a tendency to ramble, and this is actually the best video for me because I can ramble all I want and no one's going to care except for the people who actually watch this. Explain your conditioning standards. I'd like to be clear. That is actually a good question, and I do have a video scheduled to go over examples of condition standards. But I can do some basic ones right now. So first thing is acceptable. Let me see if I have. Hold on, give me a second. Do I have an acceptable book here? There we go. Yeah, this is it. All right. So I'm going to try to reflect this as much as I can. This damaged cover is ugly as crap. The back is ugly as crap, and it looks like there's a little bit of damage inside. So I would grade this one as acceptable, mainly because all the surface wear, the back wear, and a little bit of and some damage in there. This is what I would call an acceptable book. Anything without a dust cover, I would consider an automatic acceptable. I do have to research that still. There was a client that said Amazon did change the standards on dust jackets, but I still have to research that. Currently, anything with a dust jacket is automatically acceptable. We like to go up to just very good. Like new, historically speaking, we've had issues with like new and an increase in return rate. So we try to just do used very good unless we are asked by a client to do that. But for more specifics, I'm actually planning a video right now. I'm in the process of getting the books together because when I do the condition standards, I want loads of examples. I want 3 or 4 different examples of each condition. That way, it's very clear what our conditioning standards are. I will say that condition standards is a matter of interpretation, and some of my receivers are better than others when it comes to that. Some may grade too conservatively, others may grade a little too lenient, and I'm still trying to hash that out. We're in an okay spot. I've only found a couple because I do review their books sometime. Sorry about that. I thought I heard the door. This is the back room, of course. And if someone's coming in that door, I'm going to grab that broom in the back and I'm going to shove it up their head. Anyway, this is about, what is this? It's about 9 p.m. at night, so no one should be in this building. Anyway, it's back on grading conditions. But I do double check the receiver's grades sometimes. I spot check just to make sure that they are on point, and if not, we have a conversation. But that video is coming. I hope to have that video out pretty soon. I know what I want to discuss with it. Right now, I'm just in the process of gathering examples. And it's a little bit difficult to gather examples because I have to make sure, one, that I know where it came from since I'm grabbing from other clients. Two, I need a way to organize it so I don't show any client name on cameras, because most people don't like their stuff being shown, which I totally understand. But it is in the works. Showing a live book grading session would be insightful. Well, that is true. I will definitely try to get loads of examples. That way it does seem live, and that way we can expand on that. I'll do this one from the emails. Where's the emails at? Emails. Are you the only employee that works here, or are there more? Currently, there's about, let's see, we got me, we got Andrew, we got that one, and we got that one. So total currently is 4. Right now, actually tomorrow morning, we're actually interviewing our 5th person to join Little Owl. So we do have a couple interviews this week actually, and we're going to hopefully get a 5th person here pretty soon, train them up, and then they'll be a receiver as well. So we'll have 2 receivers, and then we'll have 2 shippers, and then we'll have me, which will be the utility player. Basically, I'm going to go wherever the need's greatest. So if we get 500 parcels of mail one day, I'll hop on receiving. If the shipping queue is overloaded, I'm on shipping queue, and if the returns need done, then I'll take care of that. So currently 4, gonna have 5. The reason I don't show everyone else on camera is simply because no one wants to be on camera. I've asked a couple people whether they wanted to be on camera, whether they wanted to do stuff with me, and they all said no, or they're not really in a camera mood. They're camera shy, and I have to respect their wishes. I can't really force anyone to be on camera, and of course I have to have them sign a waiver. And if they don't sign that waiver, then I'm not going to put them on video. And I'm also not going to put them on video if they don't want to be on video. Pretty self-explanatory, but I figured I'd answer that question. Let's see. When you recorded in the spreadsheet that the book is damaged, what do you suggest we do next? Do we handle the issues or try to get a refund? And how do we go about doing that? Or does the prep center help taking care of the problem? All right, so this unfortunately happens all the time here. A book comes in, we find out the spine is completely severed or damaged. Do I have one? I have an example. I have an example right here. So this is a damaged book. Come on. There you go. Where's the camera? This is a damaged book. The spine is completely severed. Someone tried to tape it up, but during transit, it broke loose. So this client will have to return this book at some point. So we would highlight that red in your spreadsheet, alert you to this is a damaged book. Usually we do pictures upon request, and that's about it. So when you as a client, since you do have a responsibility to look at the spreadsheet and make sure everything is fine, when you see a red line and it says damaged, I would automatically say go get that refund. That is 100%. If it came damaged, there's nothing you can do with the book. You need to contact that seller. You need to say, hey, this book was either damaged when you sent it to me or damaged during transit. Either case, when I got it, it was damaged, and I need a full refund. Now, some people are going to say, oh, how about this 15% or how about a partial 50% refund? I think that's horseshit. Don't do that. That's crazy. Just say, hey, this was damaged. I need this returned or replaced. I mean, honestly, if you ask for a replacement, You'd switch those books. I've seen it happen, and it's worked before. Although personally, I would always go for that go-to refund. That way, if for whatever reason the book loses value during that transition time, you can go and reinvest your money somewhere else. But yes, go to the refund or get the refund, go to the seller, ask for a prepaid shipping label if they can, and then you would send that to us on the returns.tradeins at littleowlprep.com email. That's where we do all the returns and trade-ins. And then we would take care of the logistics for you. So we would package it in a small box, we would make sure all your stuff's on it and that shipping label's on it, and then send it out. If you don't have a prepaid label, then we just need an address. The only problem with that is we would bill you for that reimbursement of the shipping cost. So if it's $346 to ship, you would get a invoice of $346, which isn't too bad, but it's the cost of doing business. But yes, always try to get a refund if the book is damaged, if it's not the book you ordered. And always try to get a prepaid label. It just works for everybody. Let's see. I'd like to hear about the future workflow improvements. Prep is essentially an outsourced relationship, and communicating everything through a spreadsheet is challenging. I 100% agree with you. So my idea is a dashboard-like interface from us and the clients, where we would keep all the information. It would be easy to upload listings and items for you guys, and it would be easy to download or upload anything that we needed. So I've seen some things on the market like that. They're just not to my standards yet. So we are working in something in-house currently for that, but it's just not ready yet. We've done some minor improvements to the spreadsheet, but it's still a spreadsheet at best. But I do agree, we are working on something to improve that in-between between prep center and client, just to make it more seamless. Because you're right, communication is everything, and we need to make sure to fill in that gap. And sometimes that spreadsheet can be a bit of a hassle. So I do think there is something here, and we are in the works of doing something. It really just depends on how much time I have, because I do have to write the code for that. Currently, Andrew is the other co-founder. He's pretty camera shy, so he doesn't really show up too much. But we back in April wrote a tool for listing. So back in April, we had to do a manual listing constantly, but that's actually how we were able to scale. We were able to use a bulk listing tool and do all that. We've been making improvements over time with that, and we're almost finished with that portion. But that's really all I can say about that. It's an awesome tool. It definitely cuts listing time within seconds, and I'm pretty happy with it. We wouldn't have been able to scale with it without it, and I'm not sure how other prep centers are doing it. But we always go down the custom software route. If it's something labor intensive, why not software? Andrew can write code, I can write code. It's really just a matter of how much extra time can we take away from operations, because we also have other obligations when it comes to operations. Making sure your shipment's out within 24 to 48 hours of requesting a shipment, making sure the receiving, which is behind me currently, gets done, making sure the returns get done, trade-ins, merchant fulfillment, all that good stuff. That needs to be taken care of before we have actual extracurricular stuff. But to answer your question, yes, we are in the works of working on something. We just have not gotten to the point where it would be good to use. Honestly, it's about a shell right now. which is a spreadsheet would still look more appealing than just an HTML shell of crap. So we are working on something. We are trying to improve it. Eventually, we will move away from the spreadsheet format in some kind of custom software approach. But we're still looking. We're still working on it. Hopefully, our hope is cool. Sorry, that was another email. But hopefully, we can take care of it there. Let's see. How is it determined that a counterfeit book is counterfeit? And what should we do with the ones we discovered? So, doing counterfeit books is an art. I don't think I have any examples currently that are within reach. Do I? Do I? I got teacher's editions within reach. Anyway, so we look for a couple different things when it comes to counterfeit books. First thing we look at is a blurry ISBN. If the ISBN is blurry, it's most of the time a counterfeit. Then we check the front page and back page. Are those blurry? Most of the time, your professional textbooks are pretty clear cut, and they shouldn't be blurry at all. So we look for that, and then we double check the pages. If we see black and white pages and pictures without color, that is an indication that it may be counterfeit. If the pages are very thin, then it's most certainly counterfeit. And if it's just weird looking, we have tried in the past to standardize the counterfeits, but I don't have that. We don't have that current training to standardize for the new receivers just yet. Most of the time, they come to me or Andrew or the other experienced person that we have on staff, and they double check to see if it's counterfeit. Sometimes it may not be counterfeit. It may just be a crappy version of a book. We are humans. It happens, but we guard on precaution because we do not want to send a counterfeit book to Amazon. Because if we do that, then the client or seller, like you guys watching or you future guys, will get in trouble. Suspended accounts, banned accounts. It's something that I don't like seeing, and I don't want to deal with it, and I don't want to affect your business negatively. The goal is to increase your business, or the goal is to just have peace of mind. So that is our attempt when identifying counterfeit books. It's really more of an art than a science currently, but we do have major indicators that do that. There are a couple of videos on our YouTube channel right now. I think there's 2 that have me going over a counterfeit book. Those 2 are actually, I think there's 3 examples, and they're counterfeits. So go check those videos out for more examples on counterfeit books. And yeah. Can you put a link here to the video when it's complete? 100%. Let's see. Sometimes you rate a book lower than what I bought it for. Yes, sometimes people either lie about the condition, or some people or it's just not up to our standards. For grading purposes, we do grade on the conservative side. What we learned I think this is 2 going on 3 years that we've been in this, for our experience, if you grade conservatively, then it reduces your return rate. And if you're doing this in the long term, if you're doing this Amazon Seller Central or book buying or item selling or online arbitrage, then you do have to think long term, and you do have to crunch that return rate if you plan on being in this business for that long. So if we reduce that return rate for you, you're going to get more money in the long run, and that will make you happy and hopefully grow your business. So we do try to grade somewhat conservatively, and it goes back to standards, which I would like to make a video on that. I'm planning on making a video on that, and hopefully that will be out soon. That way everybody's on the same page, because I really do. I prefer it to be on the same page. That way we can have complete trust from client to prep center, because that's very important to me going forward. And it was important to me going backwards too. Actually, a funny story. I actually used to send 5 free pictures to clients back in the first couple months saying, here's how we grade these particular books. Do you agree with this and all that? Unfortunately, that couldn't scale. We're now getting, 10 to 20 clients a day. So we really can't do that for every client, and that's kind of why we disbanded that. But I wish there was a way to scale that to where we could do it for all clients, because I always love the personal touch, and hopefully we can inject some of that into the system as it grows. When you receive a book, do you look for the access codes and supplemental information to notify us? So yes, we do look for supplemental access codes or other things in the book, and we do note that on the spreadsheet. We usually highlight it yellow now. So let's say you bought a bundle, loose leaf bundle, crap pack as we call them, because most of the time they never come with access cards, and if you get ugly loose leaf, it's pretty much a waste. But let's say that comes, let's say you buy a bundle, we're going to check it, and if it doesn't have an access card, we're going to highlight it yellow on your spreadsheet, and we're going to say no access card. So then you have an opportunity to either return it or say, it's totally fine, I wasn't expecting an access card, and then you would just highlight a green saying this is good, and then we ship it when you do the shipping request. So yes, we do that. To what degree do you clean the books? For example, do you remove stickers, wipe them with alcohol, etc.? Man, I need a drink. So we do some minor cleaning. We mainly do the surface of the books if it needs it. We do not do any sticker removal. I tried that back in the 5th month of starting Little Wow, and that is painful. That is painful on labor. I hated it. Other people hated it. So we just stopped doing it altogether because we can't, what's it called? We cannot scale that type of thing. So we leave stickers there. Honestly, stickers aren't that bad as a reseller. Honestly, no one cares. No one cares about stickers unless they're very anal about it. Oh man, I'm getting messages like crazy. But we do wipe them down a little bit. Usually the surface and the back if it's got like sludge on that. The only thing that we don't touch is mold. If a book is moldy, it's immediately put into a plastic bag or away from my employees, and we say, hey, we ain't going to be able to sell this. You might want to return it, because you never know who's allergic to mold, and you never know what's going to happen with that mold. Best to return that. Let's see. How long does it take received package to be updated on the spreadsheet? Usually 24 to 48 hours from when it comes in. So right now, today's Monday. We were a little bit behind since I don't have anyone scheduled on Mondays besides me, Andrew, and the other employee. So I had to wait to scan in and sort all the stuff around 8 or 9. So I have Monday stuff behind me. Monday's stuff will be done on Tuesday, and hopefully I can get to Tuesday quicker, so that means we can start doing Tuesday on Tuesday. So Monday would pretty much hit the 24-hour mark when it comes to Tuesday. But to answer your question, 24 to 48 hours is our primary objective. Of course, it may be longer depending on textbook season or real heavy months, like December or July and beginning of August, those are pretty heavy months because everyone and their mother is like, let's feed that beast. Let's feed the beast. Yeah. So yeah, that's that's pretty much the kind of crazy that elongates that time. Let's see. Let's see. The shipment to go out after shipping request, you said, and if you have any cutoff times. So we don't per se have any cutoff times. You can send that shipment request anytime to shipments@littleowlprep.com. Um, we do close at 6 p.m. on every day. So if you send a shipping request after 6 p.m., we're going to have to do it. The clock will start on that when it comes tomorrow. So if you send, like right now, it's 9:24 p.m. If you send a shipping request now, the clock's going to start 8 a.m. on Tuesday for that 24 to 48 hours. Other than that, Sunday I close this down. So any shipping request on Sunday, if I'm in here and I see it, you got 25% of me actually doing a shipment on Sunday. I try to get caught up on Sunday, so I'm usually here, but no one else is. So to better what am I trying to say? Now I'm just mumbling because of all those great questions. Sunday we're closed. On Monday, that'll start the clock for that 24 to 40 hours. If by some chance I'm here and I see it, I may do it. It just depends on what other items I'm working on. Let's see. If you order multiple copies of the same book in the same condition from different sellers, are you able to match each book to each seller when you receive it in case of any discrepancies? That's a good question. So we can only do that if you provide the seller's name in the vendor column on our spreadsheet. So that's what that's primarily used for. So here's an example. Let's say you buy an accounting book from Textbook Rush or Blue Bunny. You have them shipped. You buy them on the same day you have them shipped. They come in on the same day. Well, if you don't have that vendor information in that spreadsheet, we don't know who's that going to belong to. And we only keep that information if there's a problem with the book. So let's say for whatever reason, Blue Bunny has a teacher's edition that you didn't order. We would cut out the shipping label and we would stick it in that book and then put it in the problems section. That way you are able to, we're able to say with confidence, yes, this is the tracking number it came from and this is the person. That way you can do that return. So that's what we do to hedge our bets. But if you do want us to match it up, then fill out that vendor column and we will do our best. If I get a refund or cancellation, can I enter that in the column which says date received, even though it says Al edits? Sure. As long as you don't delete the line, we're safe. And that one was already solved. I'm not going to do that one. That one's solved. Let's see. Where did I stick the other questions? Let's see. Thank you for the videos. Well, I appreciate that. Let's see. Why do you do? All right, I already answered the shipping cost question. I'll probably do another video on it because I don't think people are going to watch 40 minutes of me going on and on and on. When are you going to start prepping other items? That's a good question. So on our website, we only advertise that we do books. We do prep other items. We do have a good bit of CDs coming in, games, some electronics. We did. I think a month ago we had a couple Xbox come in, and we were able to prep those and send them out. We can do pretty much anything. Right now, I'm working on the flagship website to actually open us up to that, but we're only advertising books currently, but we can prep anything except food. So the reason for that is because I would have nowhere to stick it, and I would want a place to be up to standards for food. because I don't want any contamination. I don't want someone to we send food to Amazon and say, "Oh man, this is already bad" and all that. I don't want to do that risk. It's not a risk I'm willing to accept. So we're waiting on the food portion, but anything else you can send in, it's the same price. Let's see. When do you list our books? Good question. So you would list your we list your books when you send a shipping request. So let's say a guy named Alfred sends us a shipping request in our shipping email, shipments@littlelprep.com. We would at first, before we send the books out, we would use our bulk lister's in-house software and send them on up to his Seller Central. And then we would do that shipment. The reason we do listing at the shipment level is because we do have that in-house software that allows us to do that. If not, then we would have to manually enter everything, and that would only delay us when it comes to receiving. We had to do that once we figured out the software and got some in-house software. Then we were able to actually speed up the process quite a bit. And hopefully, with the new improvements to that and the new things we're working on, we're hoping to make it faster. Do you currently have any minimums for shipments? No, there's no minimums. You can send as many items as you want in or as less, and we can ship anything you want. So if you really want to send one item to Amazon, we will let you do it. Although upfront, bad decision, wouldn't recommend. Do you do any merchant fulfillment? So we do merchant fulfillment currently. So if you want, we can store your books here, and when someone on Amazon buys your book, you send us the address and we ship it out. We only ask that you pay for the shipping cost and the box cost if we don't recycle. And what I mean by that is over there, what I'm looking at is we have boxes that we can reuse from other things that got sent in. And if we have to, if we can recycle that, then I'm not going to charge anyone for a box. It's as simple as that. If we have to make a box for that, then I would charge for that. But it's usually only we got it down to about 60 cents. So it's not terrible, but it's still not where we want to be. I do prefer using recycle boxes. That way it's less money on both of us. Because that 60 cents, I'm not making much on it. It's not a moneymaker. Let's see. Can you do custom condition notes? So with the custom software that we do, we can only do a condition note per grade. So used good can have one, used very good can have one, acceptable, like new, etc. And then we go from there. So if you want to add your own grades based on or condition notes based on grade, just let us know. If not, then we do have generics that we stick on every listing, and those are pretty good. Let's see. And actually, that looks about it. So this has been my Q&A. Hopefully you learned something. If you stuck to 43 minutes, that's real crazy. I don't know why you would do that, but maybe you like to hear someone ramble on. And I actually really do like rambling on, so maybe we'll keep the format. I know we did have that set of Little Al Presents or the Little Reports. I do plan on doing that again. It's just been a little difficult just because I'm trying to get everything in order and we're trying to get a new employee on. So that onboarding has been taking its toll along with ramping up for the January months. But if you have any more questions, feel free to let me know in our Little Al Prep group. Feel free to let me know via email or comment below. If I miss something, I will try and get to you and I'll try to answer that. But this has been Frank with Little Al. You all have a great day.